camera right here is a brand new monster from Canon. But one of the biggest things I found on this camera is basically nobody is picking the right microphones for it. Now, normally I recommend this setup. This is a Rode Wireless Pros. Still my number one recommendation if you're not going to use the handle. But if you are going to use the handle, I got a different recommendation. This is the XSWD, which is a crazy name. And that lavalier is one of the best lavaliers to get. And over the years of doing interviews, that has been like my go-to lavalier until I went to these lavaliers and went to this one here, which is crazy, crazy important to note, because there's so many of you who are buying this camera, this one here, who want to make it your interview, knock it out the park, get it done right, every single camera, my B-roll camera, my everything camera. And I think it's going to work out. I think it's going to be a great camera for you, but you got to have the right mics for it. The advantage of these particular type of mics is they're not UHF, they are 2.4 gig. And the advantage to this mic right here is that it's 2.4 gig also, which means it's not licensed. So if you're traveling overseas, if you're going to any country out there, these can be used without having to worry about your licensing. Because a lot of you are buying UHF mics, which they work really well, especially in long distance in really, really high RF situations. But in 85, 90% of your situations, these will work. Actually, I use them in like 99% of situations. I mean, the only time that I have any issues with these is if I'm about 30 feet away from them and we're in a high RF area. Other than that, they work perfect. These, on the other hand, have a better built-in antenna. And that's not taking anything away from the Rode system, but they're a better built-in antenna, can take a pounding, and are an XLR lead. And that's kind of important too, because the XLR lead goes directly into your XLR input of your Canon C50, for those who have the handle, and you're gonna have microphone level input, which is really cool. You end up with like everything you need in the microphone system for interviews. Packing them's easy, they're small, they work with the handle, and you just knock it out the park. A couple of questions I've been asked on this is like, how hard are they to use and what is your work case study? So when we've used these in the past as microphones for live events with over-the-ear headphones from Sennheiser, the ME3s, it knocked it out the park. And then we're using with the ME2s, which is this lavalier microphone here, it just knocks it out the park. Combine these with the reliability of this Canon C50, your whole entire squad setup is going to work way better for interviews, for live events, for the ability to go run and gun and get some really cool social media stuff. And now, some people say, well, social media. Well, yeah, you got this for OpenGate, and you want to be able to get the best OpenGate out there. Now, let's be fair. You're going to be dealing with people who've got 150,000 subscribers, 200, 300, 400, 500,000 subscribers. Then they're going to want something that looks good, sounds good, can hide the mic really good. Like I've got mine out here, but they want to have a mic that can stuff underneath and have a more reliable range system than this one. Now, here's the second channel of audio. Oh yeah, I have this thing on left and right. Ah, my bad. So you guys are hearing me out of one ear. Ah, that sucks. Let me fix that real quick. My bad. Happens every once in a while. I was doing interviews earlier today, so stuff happens. Wasn't on purpose. Speaking of which, I probably should check the stream to make sure it's working. Anyone have questions on this so far? Because basically I'm done with the presentation of this is the Canon. If you bought one of these and you don't want to buy UHF mics, buy these, which is the XSW with a -D. They come with the ME2 lavalier microphone, and they hook into the XLR slot on your Canon camera. Okay, there you go. That's the whole of this whole video. And why should you buy them? Because I recommend them because I've used them. Let's see what this sounds like. What up? What up? All right, so there's one more of y'all on here. So if you got any questions on these microphones, I'd love to answer them for you. If you have any questions on the C50, hi Lucas, how you doing? Do you have any questions on this equipment? Because I'm doing good. How about yourself? For those, there's like 15 just tuned in. If you got questions on the C50 or these microphones, please let me know what you're thinking, your questions on it. So this is your C50. This is the microphones I recommend for the C50, which are the Sennheiser XSW-D. And they come with this ME2 lavalier microphone. They got about 5 hours of battery life, and they plug into the XLR handle and give you really good audio. And you don't have to get licensing for your UHF, which you do in other countries. If you use UHF, you got to get the right ones. Yes, actually they are for sports. They're really nice for sports. You can connect them in little pouches and such, and they're solid and rugged and won't break. And they have a metal screw-on portion there, so even the cable won't fall apart. Yes, they sound actually excellent. They also allow you to use higher-end mics. So the Cook mics, any of the mics are like $500 to $1,000 for the lavalier mics. They work with those too because they're the Sennheiser screw-on. How much? This setup is $399 per channel, and that's got an XLR input into your camera, and it's got a Sennheiser screw-on connector on there. I've used these in particular, that ME2 microphone, for probably 3 years, and I've used the cousin to these, which are the AVXs, for 3 years. Really good setup. I ended up going to the Rhodes because I wanted a more compact setup. Then they released these after I got the Rhodes system, and when I looked at them, they have an XLR input, and most of the camera work I'm doing either goes into these or they go into a camera with the 1/8 jack, which is this jack right here. So I end up sticking with the Rhodes, and it worked great. But the AVXs, if you're looking for something that has a little bit more reliable on the signal in high RF areas, they actually do better than these here. And they work with the Rode mics, with the Cook mics and others. And if you don't know what a Cook mic is, a Cook mic is one of the more expensive mics you can get your hands on. Let me look up what they cost real quick. 2 phones, always helps. All right, so we're looking at a Cook lavalier. Cool. Hopefully you cleaned up after yourself. All right. The one thing I have learned over the years, if you've been in AV productions or in sales, you ain't got nothing you can say I haven't seen, heard, or been around. And believe me, we've heard it all. Remember, I get to hear people talking. So if you want to throw some really cool stuff at me or say, oh, this is a poop, that's cool with me. Wouldn't be the first time I heard it. For example, this system here can use the Sennheiser MKE2s, which are really, really good. They can use the Countryman B3s, which is actually a really commonly used lavalier, which tends to be used with UHF systems. It's probably the reason why I tell you to get these, because you can use like Countryman's and other stuff. You use point source mics. Man, there are so many cool mics you can work with this. Shoot. You can use the Shure mics, point source, provider series, which are, they're all right. I mean, whatever you want to use, they're just awesome. And the reason I tell you to use them with this camera is it comes with an XLR handle. Now, what's really funny is the people who spent the money on this, which I think is like $3,800, which is a steal for a camera what this has in it. Don't ever use the XLR handles and don't ever use XLR inputs. They always use the 1/8 inputs, which is a complete waste of what this camera's for. And they never record in 24-bit audio, but they're willing to pay stupid money for a 32-bit float recorder. And if they're willing to do that, I always just tell them, buy these, because you're not really taking advantage of it. You don't have to worry about the signal going into your camera anyway. Just match them in post. Whereas if they use the handle, they can take advantage of the 24-bit audio, the wider bandwidth, and then when they go into post-production, they don't have to have an external recorder. So, I mean, that's just my thoughts. That's about it, guys. So, look, I'm not going to be the most entertaining one on this. I'm not going to have all the coolest answers on this, but I do this for a living every single day. Like today, I just did interviews for about an hour or so in the setup and takedown. I mean, got 600-watt lights, 2 cameras, 2 lavaliers, stereo channel separation on the lavaliers so that the sound looks great. I'm here to help anyone who wants to learn how to do this. But I got news for you. College ain't going to teach you this stuff. You need someone who's actually done it on the trade side to teach you the stuff that actually works. Because what they tell you to do is get an external recorder, get the other stuff. Hell, I use these. This right here for doing some of my interviews because they're fantastic now. And then these allows you to take it up another notch. But if you got one of these C50s and you're looking for a microphone to get, I'm going to really say get the XSW-D Sennheiser microphone system. They're like $399. Just get those. So, okay, I'm on the question and answer side of this now because I'm only going to be on for like 20 minutes tonight. Any questions on this microphone? Any questions on the C50? And I'll answer questions on either one of them because it helps you understand why they work together so well. Yeah, that's funny. Christina. Okay. Well, if that's the case, if we don't have any questions for it, I appreciate those who are watching because there's been a couple of y'all that did watch for a little while. I'm going to bounce out of here in about 2 or 3 minutes. Let's see who pops in. Because this one's just not that interactive. I'll be doing some more of these on the verticals. As a matter of fact, the verticals are going to be really cool coming up. They're going to have all the cool stuff on the top, me in the center, and then area at the bottom so you can have all your text. But anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all. The one that did the like, I appreciate y'all. Tomorrow there will be a live from, where are we going to be at? I'm going to be doing this one for fun tomorrow. We're going to be doing a live from VOA? Yeah, VOA. VOA in Linwood and Mallet Terrace, Washington. And they got a brand new center opening up. And I'm going to be doing live from there for probably about an hour. If you guys want to see some pretty cool stuff and see what's new and opening up for a community, I'll be there to show you. Other than that, man, for those, I don't know, about 15, 20 y'all popping in and out, thank you for watching. Don't forget, Thursday we do jazz nights, and you'll get to see that again. All right, cool. Thank you for watching. Gots to go.